Hi, my name is Taylor Vittori, and today I'll be giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how I made illusions. So today in this video I'll be giving you a brief overview of the production process involved in making the track Illusions. I'll be showing you a little bit of the writing process and what's involved in that. I'll be showing you the tracking process at my home studio and at the Wayne State studio as well. And then towards the end you'll see a performance video of the final product. So sit back and enjoy. To begin, I'd like to give you an overview of the gear I have available to me at my home studio. This is where I've done all of the editing and post-production, as well as the guitar and bass tracking. As you'll see later, the rest of the live tracking was done at the Wayne State studio. Firstly, and probably my most important piece of gear, is my 2007 iMac, which I recently installed Pro Tools 12 on. Given its age, it's a bit sparse in terms of upgrades, but so far it's been a reliable machine for all the recording projects that I've had to work on. My audio interface is a Presonus Audiobox 44 VSL. It's got a very simple design, and I really enjoy using the direct input, which allows me to get a guitar or bass signal directly into the interface itself. I've recently added a Glyph Studio 1TB external hard drive, and presently this is mainly used as storage for my Native Instruments sound libraries. My monitors are Yamaha HS5s. They have a relatively flat sound, and I'm still getting used to how that affects the mix, but it's definitely a big step up from mixing with headphones. My keyboard is an Arturia 49-key MIDI controller, and I mainly use this to test the sounds within my sound libraries. As far as mics go, I still need to develop my collection. I have an Audix i5 dynamic mic, a 1 by Apogee, 3 DR-VX1 dynamic mics, and a Blue Yeti USB microphone. As mentioned before, most of the live audio for Illusions was recorded at Wayne State Studio. Now I'd like to briefly talk about the writing process of Illusions. The way in which I write music centers are on a program called Guitar Pro 5. It's similar to Finale or MuseScore, but it's more limited in terms of its scoring options. It's more guitar-centric, as guitar tablature is the main input type and scoring format. The entire program is MIDI based, and because of this, it essentially allows me to demo material as I write it. It's very easy to input notes, and color coding the tracks clearly shows where parts come in and out. For any track, I can adjust tunings, or the number of strings for the track, with 4 and 5 strings for bass, and 6 and 7 strings for guitars. Each track can also be assigned a different sound. There are many different effects for notes and dictation, such as slides, bends, tremolo picking, tapping, and hammer-ons and pull-offs. The end product of writing in Guitar Pro sounds like this. When I'm finished writing a song in Guitar Pro, I can import the MIDI data into Pro Tools. This gives me a complete tempo map of the song, including any key signature or time signature changes. Markers made within Guitar Pro are also carried over into Pro Tools, making the workspace very similar to what I've been looking at in Guitar Pro. After importing the Guitar Pro MIDI into Pro Tools, my next objective was to create a scratch track for the drummer to play to inside of the Wayne State studio. As with any bed track, I began with the bass. So for today, what I have is I've got my MIDI all imported into Pro Tools. From Guitar Pro, I took the audio from the MIDI file in Guitar Pro, and I basically imported that into Pro Tools as well, just as a backing track for these opening, what little tracking I'm going to be doing this, on this project. The first little bit of it is going to be based around the Guitar Pro MIDI track that I have, the MIDI song, I guess you could call it. If I play it back at So I got my MIDI track there.
I guffed it up. That's all wrong.
After tracking bass, I began putting sounds to the MIDI parts of the song. This is where MIDI makes up for my inability to play keyboard very well, but finding sounds for the MIDI parts is crucial to filling out the whole of the track. I mainly used Analog Lab from Arturia and Expand to find all of the synth sounds that I wanted to use. Yeah, I'm going to try and sift through the many thousands of patches that I have to find a patch that I enjoy. So right now I'm looking for some kind of ambient pad sound. So I favorited a few of them. I believe I'm on some kind of, this one's called Exotic. Now that I have the bass and keys, the next step is to track guitars. For the sake of time, I only did the clean guitars and one distortion track. I found a bunch of sounds for all my MIDIs, actual MIDI tracks in here in the software instruments. So now I'm going to do the guitar tracks, and as you can see here, I've got a tone lined up here that I'm going to use for certain parts. This is just in Guitar Rig. After wrapping up the 2 guitar tracks, it was time to take the project to the Wayne State Studio to track drums.
Alright, I see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present Jacob Halkey. Jacob was very excited to work in the studio with me on Illusions, and I'm glad he was interested in performing on my music so readily. He performed on another song I tracked here at Wayne State last semester, so he knew what to expect this time around as far as some of the conventions I use in my music. But that doesn't mean he didn't have some trouble with a few parts though, particularly the 9/8 section.
Is that right? Did I do that right? I mean, it's yeah, I think that was it. Okay, that was that. Yeah. Whew. Jesus. That part took it out of me. But we got it. I actually did the hits too. I didn't do them all, but yeah. Nah, man, I'm good. I'm hitting it.
It took us 2 sessions to track all the drums, with most of the second session being where all the final takes were recorded. I'm hoping to continue working with Jacob in the future, and I'm very thankful that he was available for these recording sessions.
Can I get the MIDI drums? Can I get the MIDI drums? Can I get the... Sorry, can I get the MIDI drums?
After the drums were tracked, I had some time until I could book a session with the vocalists. I used this time to track more guitars, like the solos and the tapping section. I also doubled the rhythm guitars to thicken the sound a bit. Initially, I used Guitar Rig 5 for the tones, but later I switched over to Positive Grid's Bias Amp Modeler, which offers a wealth of tone altering options, such as cabinets, mics and placement, transformers, power amps, and even artist-uploaded signature sounds. After working on these last few guitar tracks, the only thing that still needed to be recorded were the vocals.
Okay, it's recording.
Oh, now it's recording, never mind.
Good thing I know how to Apple.
She knows how to Apple. Good.
For vocals, I decided on having 2 vocalists, Kari Hart and Loftus. I had actually asked Kari to sing on another production last semester, but unfortunately she fell ill the night before the recording session. Luckily, she had recommended Anna and had already sent her the parts. Anna showed up the next day and everything worked out great in the end, but I still wanted Kari to sing on a song of mine. I'm grateful they were both interested in working in the studio again on this project. Both of them sound great, and I think each of them brings a different character to the track.
I see myself once again, unsure of everything, vapid vision once clear and sharp, my voice merely a test. I see myself once again, unsure of everything, vapid vision once clear and sharp, my voice merely a test.
I also like the idea of having 2 vocalists to take care of potential doubling opportunities within the vocal lines.
A maze of halls and walls. You weren't scared at all. Your smile rubbed off on me. A trend began suddenly.
We tracked all the vocals across 2 sessions, but in the interest of time, I decided to not track much of the backing vocals I had written. Despite this, I'm still satisfied with the results.
I'll forever learn, I'll forever grow. The illusion ends, I'll make myself whole. Moose!
Once the vocals were tracked, I had all the pieces I needed. From here, I spent a lot of time fine-tuning and editing all of the recorded material that I had. This is an extensive process and can involve a lot of different things. I added EQs and compressors to control the dynamic range of my tracks, and I also experimented with parallel compression to liven up some of the performances. I ran all the vocals through Melodyne to correct pitches and adjust entrances and exits on certain words. This ensures Kari's and Anna's performances lined up. I added the low air plugin to my bass tracks to bring out all the low rumble and subharmonics of the bass guitar tracks. I also further dialed in my guitar tones using Bias and Guitar Rig. I ended up using both plugins to shape the sound of the rhythm guitars. Similarly to how I used low air on the bass tracks, the bias tone ended up acting as a boost to the Guitar Rig tone, which really thickens the sound when both are played simultaneously. Once I was content with the tones, I spent a lot of time mixing. I recently purchased Isotope Ozone 7 to aid in mixing and mastering as well. The mixing and mastering process is still something I feel I need to work on, but having some extra tools to help me find my way definitely makes it easier to see what I can do to improve the sound of my mixes. So there was Illusions. I hope you enjoyed the song and this behind the scenes look at the making of it. Following the completion of this documentary and my graduation from Wayne State, I'm planning on beginning the production of an album that I finished writing a few years ago. And through working on it, I'm hoping to perfect and cultivate my skills at mixing and production and just working on recordings in general. And with any luck, in the near future, you'll be hearing some more material from me. So once again, my name is Taylor Vittori, and thank you for watching.